Welcome to Boundless Energy's top tips for jet lag. I am John Clemson, your nutritional therapist. Having recently returned from a long haul trip to Florida, I thought I'd like to share with you some of my top tips for overcoming jet lag. So what actually is jet lag? It is essentially a mismatch between your internal bodily clock and the external light-dark cycle of your new time zone. It is in fact a sleep disorder, but you also may experience some other symptoms as well. So essentially you have a master clock which is located in your brain, which regulates your sleep-wake cycle, and through this cycle all other cycles in your body are regulated. There are two regulatory hormones associated with this master clock, which are melatonin, your sleep hormone, and cortisol, which is your awake hormone. These act together and in opposing ways. So what happens is melatonin will increase when it becomes dark and will ebb during daylight, whereas cortisol will increase in the morning and then ebb at nightfall. So essentially, when one rises, the other one falls, and then vice versa. There's only one factor that will affect melatonin synthesis, and that is light exposure on the retina of your eye. Whereas with cortisol, which is also known as your stress hormone, any stressful situation can affect the production of cortisol, and that includes jet lag. So if you have increased cortisol production, your cortisol rises and melatonin falls. So this can affect your sleep patterns. So when you're looking at jet lag, the most important factor for resetting your clock is actually light exposure on the retina of your eye. So that's the most important factor, but you also need to look at factors for reducing any stress stimuli on cortisol production. So what can you do? Well, the first thing that you can do is take a night flight. That's the best thing to do because you are ready for sleep when you get on the plane, and it's more in line with your current clock. It also means that when you get to your destination, it's likely to be light at the other end. And remember, light is the key factor in resetting your clock. So when you get on the plane, also ensure that you have a sleep mask, one of these, which I consider essential for flights. It minimises the light disruption while you're actually in the cabin itself. So it will enable you to sleep and stop the production of cortisol rising and keep melatonin high. Also, what you want to do is you want to avoid alcohol and coffee before and during the flights, because these will keep you awake and increase the production of cortisol. Also, during the flight, you will likely become dehydrated, and that's simply due to the air in the cabin. So you want to look at hydrating yourself, because dehydration again is another stressful situation that will cause the rise of cortisol. So for every hour that you are in the air, you should be looking at drinking about 250 millilitres of water, which is essentially half a bottle of a small bottle of water. When you get to your destination, it should be daylight, and what you want to do is get outside into daylight as much as possible to reset that clock. Even if you're feeling sleepy, wait until it becomes dark. Even if it's dark at 6 o'clock, and then go to sleep then, and use your trusty face mask again when you go to sleep, because what you don't want to do is be awakened by any lights, whether they come through your curtains or in the room where you're sleeping. You want your body to rest as much as possible, so allow your body to sleep until it's ready to wake up naturally. Don't set your alarm for the next day, just let yourself wake up naturally. Then when you do, get outside into the daylight, into the natural light, so you get that light exposure onto your eyes, and this will help reset that natural bodily clock. And then when you return on the flight back home, just repeat that process. This should ensure that you minimize any symptoms of jet lag as much as possible. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you very much for watching. You can find me at boundless-energy.co.uk. Bye for now.